Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am Lynn and today I'm going to be talking about J. Cole's 1985. This particular song has sparked my interest, but I have always thought about it and kept it at the back of my mind ever since I heard it because it speaks about something that is very real. That if you make music or if you have craft that is not of substance, then you will sort of die out, like your music will sort of die out. Yes, people will play it here and there at parties or just because they're feeling nostalgic. It doesn't necessarily mean that your music is bad. It doesn't necessarily mean that your art is bad or whatever that you're doing is bad. It just means that there is a certain type of art when you put out there lost across years, across time, because of the message that is put out there. So it made me think about what is happening with Lil Wayne right now. People on X are complaining that Lil Wayne's music does not have substance. There is a bigger issue that is happening with Lil Wayne in terms of him commenting about the Black Lives Matter at the time when it was happening, and people needed his voice, but he chose not to give his voice. But I'm going to talk specifically about the fact that what he puts out there is not necessarily great art, in a sense that you cannot play his music like in a place where there are kids, in a place where there is like a family function. So it really is restrictive because only a certain group of people will like it, and those are the people who were his fans when he was at his peak, i.e., teenagers, people who are like 20 years old, because things like sex and how you do it and how big your thing is and how pink that other thing is, it only sparks your interest when you are young, when you are, still at your curious years of what sex is. But it eventually dies out because people start working, people start having families, people start prioritizing different things. So, in that regard, I really think that people are attacking those who are pointing this out just because they are also stuck where Lil Wayne is, and that is when they were still teenagers, when they were still young adults. Some people have not grown up to a level where they can actually listen to these songs and be like, it's not for me anymore. I mean, I like the fact that it sounds good. It reminds me of a time when I was doing this and that, but I can no longer resonate with what he is saying anymore. And this is not just Lil Wayne, it is the three of them, the three gods of Young Money, which is Nicki Minaj, Drake, and Lil Wayne. So I found it very interesting at the very beginning of the beef between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, because it made me ask myself, where exactly would J. Cole place himself here? J. Cole is like the middle child. And it's funny because he does have a song called Middle Child. But he is the peacemaker. I think that his function here, he wanted to become friends with both Kendrick Lamar and Drake. He wanted to be the mediator. He wanted to be the person that comes forward and says, oh no, this is bad. Let us just, you know, collaborate, let us love each other, kumbaya. But I think that he didn't really understand what was going on between the two people, or he just did not want to be a part of it. There are people like that who, although they can see that there is an issue, they are not people who are confrontational, and because of that, they will not be part of whatever squabble is happening there. But had the beef gone forward, I wonder if it was going to be one against two, two against one. I'm not really sure. And I'm saying that because whenever I listen to 1985, I think of those three people: Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and Drake. Because though Drake is a great pop artist, meaning that his music makes charts, his music is it's very good. Like his music is very like it gets you moving. Whenever you listen to a Drake song, you know that you're going to dance, obviously. So he is a hit maker. So at the same time, and this is what bothered me sometimes, that yes, Drake was very creative and he could go from genre to genre. He was excelling at selling music, but his music did not have substance. His music was about how big his pool is and about flying girls out and in, how he cannot find love, how he bought the latest watches or rings, or how his son goes to this certain school. It's always about showing off about his lifestyle. And song after song after song, it's the same thing. But where is the substance? Where is it where he shows that he has grown through the years? Did he not grow with us, or is he still stuck in showing off how much wealth he has, how much things he can buy, how much things he can acquire, and who he has slept with? It gets so repetitive and boring. And yes, I do still listen to his music. I do like his music, and it gets me going. Like if I'm jogging, like I'm going to listen to a Drake song, it's fine. I do listen to Kendrick too, yes. But I'm saying that in as much as it's vibey and it's funky, it does not have substance. And I also see people argue that in the beginning, Lil Wayne had songs that were about empowerment or self love, or how he has songs that still talk about issues happening in the community. That is true, but Lil Wayne, in the grand scheme of things, does not represent unity in the black community. It does not represent consciousness. And it is a problem because at the same time, these people are saying these things will also attack Kendrick for making slave music. They will attack people who actually want to put consciousness out there as they're very boring. They do not understand that people want to dance. Like the Andre song. It's not Andre, it's what was it? Outcast, yes. The Outcast song, Hey Ya, where he says that you don't want to listen, you just want to dance. And it's so true. But the thing is, as you grow up, you actually sit down. Your energy levels go down to a point where you have to sit down and actually really think about what am I listening to, what kind of art am I consuming, and so forth. And that is where you sort of sit back and think, okay, look, I don't really relate to this music anymore. And he keeps putting out album after album. The thing is, his fans say that they already know that Lil Wayne is a goat, but he keeps trying to prove himself. And people are just like, oh, he's just doing it for the sake of the art, for his craft. But that is a lie because every time someone challenges Lil Wayne, he also doubles down by saying that he's going to release an album, new music. He's doing the same thing that Drake and Nicki Minaj do. They're always trying to prove themselves, whereas, yes, we understand that you're talented and we respect your craft from all of these years that you have put in the work. However, where is the growth? What happened? Like, how did we grow, but you are left behind? That is where the disconnect is. The issue with Young Money is that Young Money does not know how to connect with the audience, with its people, because they lack they lack What do you call this? Engagement, community. They lack self awareness. Whenever there is an issue that would affect their fan bases, they either shy away from it, disregard their fans, or do something that is completely unhinged, i.e., Nicki Minaj siding with Donald Trump right now, knowing very well that her fan base consists of queer people. Yes, it's true that Nicki Minaj had her own movement. Drake had his own movement. Lil Wayne also has been one of the goats, true. And am I saying that he's no longer a goat? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that people are always trying to set him up by saying that, yeah, he's still the goat, he's still the goat. Performance wise, he's not doing great. Appearance wise, he's not doing great. He's not taking care of his health. He's not being coherent. So, although that they have made their own impacts in their careers, right now is not their time. And I think that also that is what they are struggling with, because as soon as a new kid comes on the block, then you will no longer be relevant, because the teenagers and the people who are 20, who are in their early 20s, are now going to give their attention and affection to the new kid, and it will shift from you. But because you didn't grow along with the people who are your target audience, the people who are looking up to you, your fans, you didn't grow up with them, then it becomes problematic, because now who do you cater to when you make this new music? Like, I'm going to give an example, right? Drake, I feel like the way that he should have handled this whole beef thing, if he had just said, you know what, the best man won, let me move on with my life, then there would have been much more respect for him, because then it would have been him respecting hip hop and what it means to be a competitor at the sport. You will never see a basketball player like Kobe shooting hoops with Michael Jordan and then getting angry and throwing around the balls because he lost. You accept loss and then you move on. But he doesn't do that. He didn't do that. And he doesn't reflect on, okay, what could I have done better? And I think that although this song was a diss song, Meets the Grams was a it was very honest and very necessary. And it was good advice for Drake. I understand that Kendrick had said things that were like, this is a bit evil, but at the same time, he was right about certain things. And I feel like the fan bases of three of these artists are very, very dishonest when it comes to where they are mentally, where these artists are mentally, and the kind of work that they can produce right now, and the kind of connections that they have. And I also strongly believe that they are holding on to the people that they were when they actually loved these people for what they were doing. So 1985 speaks about that. It speaks about the fun aspects of music. It speaks about how, like, you're out here trying to make your money, you out here having fun, you tatted um from the face to your heel. But it also talks about how, like, it also goes downhill because of the type of things that you were talking about. It talks about how said artist is going to end up on Love and Hip Hop because of how they're scrambling to get hot again. But they forgot they only rock because they were riding trends. And now they're all news. Now they're going through regrets. Like, oh my gosh, it is such a gem. That song is a gem. But I often wonder, like, for real, if the beef was going to be a three-way beef, meaning that J. Cole was gonna beef with Drake and Kendrick. and Kendrick was going to beef with Drake and J. Cole and vice versa, then how would it have gone? Because the first diss song was 1985. In my opinion, I feel like that was a diss song to Drake. And this substance music issue is very serious. You know what it is like for maybe like a boy who is like 14 discovering Common. Yes, it might be a little boring or a little different from the things that they listen to, but it opens up their minds to the serious things that are happening in their communities and their lives. So, although they might also discover Lil Wayne, that is also short lived because there are artists already who are young who sing about what or rap about what Lil Wayne is rapping about. So that is the issue. It's not that Lil Wayne is a bad artist. It is not that we are saying that he needs to be doomed and we don't care about him. He's no longer the GOAT. What we are saying is that he just doesn't make music that has substance. That's all. Yeah, please tell me your thoughts on this topic. And as per every video, I ask that you please like, comment, subscribe to this video. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.